bundles, we have 4 components: the Survey 123, ArcGIS Quick Capture, Collector for ArcGIS, and the Workflow for ArcGIS. We'll be taking this one by one, and we understand the components of each. Survey 123, this is a very powerful and simple to use application that most people are now adopting to collect data from the feed. It has a simple workflow that you can adopt to ask series of questions to collect data and geographic information from a smartphone or any other mobile device equipped with a GPS devices. So with this simple app, you can capture location information as well as the attribute data. And most importantly, it works offline, and this eliminates the time spent interpreting the manual information you have. It's actually a smartphone. So with this simple app, you can ask questions in a simple way. You publish your survey, get answer, then make decision at a go. So we have 3 components for this ArcGIS, for Survey 123 for ArcGIS. You can either use Survey 123 online, or you use Connect, which adopts the XLS format, or Survey 123 application, which you can actually download and install on your mobile device. This is another application that most people are now using. As its name implies, ArcGIS Quick Capture. With this application, you can collect feed data simply and quickly. This was specifically designed to support feed teams that need to collect data rapidly. Either you're on a moving bicycle or helicopters, you can collect data simply. This one also uses a form-based interface, which makes it an excellent choice for data collection. So when you create a project in ArcGIS Quick Capture, you can craft the form to determine the arrangement of the button, how they appear, and the information you can collect from it. With this tab, you can simply send data back to the office for analysis in real time. Yeah. We have another simple application here, which is Collector for ArcGIS. This is a very, very powerful application that you can use to collect data, either geometry data set or attribute information. It uses your device locations to collect geographic data. And with this hub, you can actually collect data at a GPS accuracy, which means it displays GPS location at a 95% confidence interval. That's to show how accurate this device is. Though most of the time, the accuracies of Collector for ArcGIS depends on the type of devices you are using, the GPS device you are using. You can decide to install the Collector for ArcGIS on a smartphone, and in that case, the Collector app uses your device location, your smartphone location, to capture accurate information anywhere, and it works anytime. Yeah, this is the 4th one in the feed app bundles. We have Workforce for ArcGIS. This particular application is used to coordinate the way your feed workers work. With this app, you can assign tasks to your feed workers. You monitor their progress, how they are doing on the feed, to boost their productivity and reduce the error in working on the feed. So this is one too. It's very, very powerful. So why collecting data is one thing and transforming it into useful information is another thing. In order to collect and transform your data into actionable information, you need to actually analyze those data with applications, either to display the result in a dynamic way, you communicate the result of your observation in the feed and all that. So we have essential app bundles you can use for this purpose. Here we have ArcGIS Dashboard and Web App Builder. this particular ArcGIS dashboard over the months has been leading geospatial war against COVID-19, while most organizations are now using to map the trend, visualize the spread, to make decisions. With this ArcGIS dashboard, you can view information at a glance by presenting a location analytics. It is a very simple one to configure and is flexible, which means you can always adapt all other data sets from any source, either from the mobile feeder bundles or from any other sources. You integrate everything together to come up with an interactive platform that you can actually use to communicate your results. This particular application has a real-time capability, and it's very easy to understand. And most importantly, you can use this hub to inform the community, maybe the result of your field observation or research. Web Hub Builder for ArcGIS. This is another one you can use to communicate to build a simple custom applications without written a single line of code. You can build hub without reading code with this application, and it works on a what you see is what you get basis, which means when you are interacting with the Web App Builder, you can use a lot of widgets to configure your GIS mobile applications. Okay, let's take a look at the licensing you need to have in order to use all these applications. The good news is most of these mobile applications are actually complementary, which means once you have any desktop licenses, you don't need to pay extra money to buy or to use any of these applications. If you are a student and you have student license, you have access to virtually all the feed app bundles and the essential app bundles. But if you have subscription, ArcGIS online subscription, it will now depend on the user type you have that will determine which applications, which mobile applications you have access to. If you are using viewer user type, you don't actually have access to create content in most of these applications, but you can view the results from it. But if you have GIS professional user type, you can create content and use all the feed app bundles, all this one in complementary web app bundles. You can use everything there. Okay. I will be cutting to my presentation here for Clement to do the demo.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. That has been a very wonderful presentation. So please, if you have any questions so far from what Mr. Adebayo has said, can you please raise your hands? Any questions? If you have any questions, please, before we go into the demonstration proper. So if you have any questions, can we see a raise of hand? Or if there is none for now, you can as well send in your questions by typing on the chat box. So we're expecting that. Mr. Clement, if you are ready, you can let me know so that we can have you up. Hello, Mr. Clemens, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, please, can we begin with the demonstration proper? And please, I would love everyone to have his or her pen, because this is the most important part of this webinar, because the demonstration aspect is where we get more knowledge about. And then from there, we'll be able to, I believe we'll be able to have a lot of questions that will be asked. Mr. Clement, over to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. Adebayo, please, can you stop sharing so that I can share my screen?
Okay, Clement.
All right, good day, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. So quickly, I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how to use Survey 123 and ArcGIS dashboard. The details of this has been explained earlier by my colleague, and I'm only going to be doing some demonstration. And I will urge you all to pay attention. So quickly, I'm going to show you some demonstration. These are dashboards that were created for specific purposes. For instance, the current one I'm displaying is for COVID-19 in Nigeria. This data was updated some weeks ago, so it's not currently up to date. And this one is for police operations, and this is for live traffic. So this and other things are what you can do with ArcGIS dashboard. And today we'll be focusing on how to crowdsource data for ArcGIS dashboard. It's one thing to have a dashboard, and it's another thing to have data to display on it. So I'm going to show you the steps you need to create a dashboard. So in this section, we are going to build a survey form. We are going to build a web map, and we are going to build a dashboard. So to start, what you need to do is to log into your ArcGIS online account. That if you have a personal license or you have an organizational account, all you need to do is log in. And once you log in, you head straight to content, and then you can see all the files or items that you have in your organization. So to create a survey, there is this app icon at the top right. So once you click on it, you're going to see a series of apps that you have license to use. Adebayo mentioned licenses the other time. Using all these features requires some level of licensing. So if you have the license to use Survey 123, you are going to see Survey 123 right there. So I'm going to click on Survey 123, and it's going to launch the Survey 123 website. On the Survey 123 website, if you have existing surveys in your organization, it's going to list them for you. And if you don't, this will be blank. So right now, I'm going to create a new survey. In this section, we want to create a survey for people to report issues on the road. Maybe you're traveling within the neighborhood and you notice traffic jam, or maybe there is a weather condition, maybe a tree fall on the road, and you need to make a report so that the appropriate authorities will know about it and take necessary actions. So that's the survey we want to build during this section. Then we'll build a dashboard for visualizing those responses. So as said earlier, you can use the web designer and you can use Survey 123 Connect. Survey 123 Connect is a desktop application, but we are not going to be using that in this section. So we use the web designer. I'll click on Get Started, and here I need to fill in the name of my survey, and then I'm going to give it some tags so that someone in the community wants to search for a particular data set. Tags allow you to quickly reach the data that you are looking for. So here, the name will be road issue report, or let me just put it as traffic report. Then the tags, I'm going to put transportation, put commute, and the summary, I'll just write a quick summary here that this form will be used to report this on the road. And I'm going to click on create. So once you click on create, it's going to load the designer for you. It's going to create the survey, and then you can now start making changes to the survey. So in this section, I'm going to add the necessary fields that we need to fill during the survey. And once I'm done, I'm going to share the link to the group chat so that we can quickly populate the form with some data. Then we can proceed to the next stage. So this is the survey designer page. Here, what you do here, there are some items here. These are input fields: the single line text, multi-line text, single choice, multiple choice. I believe most of us must have used Google Forms before or Microsoft Forms. Those form items are exactly listed here. But the only advantage here is that we can add a location field. So the location field is going to allow you to capture the particular location where that form is being filled. And that's possible by this map widget. So quickly, the title is there and the description is there. I want to add some items here. I want to have some drop-down fields. And there is one thing that is called rule. For instance, if you are filling the survey online, you notice there are some questions that are not relevant to some particular questions. So I'm going to demonstrate that in this as well. So the first one I want to add is the name of the road, or the name of the street rather. So here you change the question, here the label. Street name. And you want to give the user some hints to fill that particular field, you can type it here. And we leave that. Then the next one I want to add is a drop down widget. So I'm going to drag it right from there and drop it in the form. And here I can type the name of the question. Here I have the issue type. And for the choices, I have weather hazard. I have road closure. I have accident and traffic jam. Accident. So here I have 4 items, 4 choices that the user can fill. Okay, so this is what's happening on this road. Then I'm going to add another one, another drop down, so that the user can tell maybe the status of the issue. Maybe it's pending or it has been resolved. Then I'm going to remove this choice 3 because I don't need it. So these are the fields that we want to have in this survey. And the last one I'm going to add is the map. This map will enable you to add the location, the exact location where you are filling the form from. And you can specify maybe you want a point feature or line feature or polygon feature. So here I need the point feature. So I'm going to specify and that's it. I can also change the map type that will be displayed. I think OpenStreetMap will be very good. So I'll use OpenStreetMap. And each question here is compulsory. So I don't want a situation where some fields will be missing. So to do that, I'll just check this validation field that this is a required question. This is a required question as well. This is a required question, and this is a required question. So having done that, I want to filter the next question. This status, for instance, I don't want to specify status when it is accident. So once I click on issue type, I want to create a rule that when it is when accident is selected here, the status should not be filled. So to click on this icon here and set the rule. So if accident show specified location. So here status will not be shown if it is accident that is selected in this field. You can add multiple rules that you want to use in your form when you are creating it. So I'm going to click OK, and I'll go ahead and publish the form. So before I publish, I'll click on save. And on the publish page, you have the options to edit the database schema. That's the attribute, the column names. Update it to suit what you want. Here I have street underscore name, issue underscore type. I think I'm okay with the fields that are here automatically. So in a situation where you have a long question, for instance, what is your year of birth? So the 1, 2, 3, we write it what underscore is underscore your underscore year underscore of underscore birth. So if you want to adjust that, this is where you are going to do it. You can just adjust it to change it to date underscore of birth. So I'm okay with the schema, so I'm going to click on publish. So it's publishing. What I'm going to do next is that I'm going to share the link to this survey on the group chat so that wherever you are, you can fill the form at least 2 times so that we can have enough data to build our dashboard. So the survey has been published now, and this is where you share it. It has a link and a QR code. If you have the Survey 123 mobile app on your phone, you can scan this code to fill the survey. But if you don't, you can copy the link and share to the people you want to fill the form. The form that we used to register for this webinar was created with Survey 123 for ArcGIS. So let's check the group chat, the meeting chat now. I've pasted the link there, so we can all open the link and then fill in maybe once or twice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bamidele. So, is there a way we can spend just like 2 minutes so that we can allow participants to fill the survey form quickly? So we will spend just about 2 minutes. Let's see if you can fill the form twice or thrice. Please go ahead and let's see how you can fill the form. We have the form in the meeting chat. Kindly click on the meeting chat on your Teams viewer, and then you'll be able to see the link to the form. And we will quickly take a question from Mr. Kajal Bama. Mr. Kajal Bama is asking, is there any offline application for this? If you are in a remote area where no internet access, what is the procedure over there? I think Clement, you should answer this, or maybe Adebayo should answer it. Any of you, please. Adebayo, would you like to answer this? Hello, Adebayo, are you there? Okay, Clement, please, can you answer this question from Kajal? He's asking if there is an offline application for this. And secondly, he's asking if he's in a remote area where there is no internet access. What procedure can he use over there? Mr. Clements, please.
Okay, thank you, Destiny. Before I answer the question, let me quickly show something. The form I sent, if you have opened the form, it's going to ask you for some credentials that you should log in. The reason is that when you create any item on ArcGIS Online, the sharing level is set to owner. So for you to allow your form to be filled by anybody, you have to set it to be to public. So I will go back to content and I will locate the form. So the question, yes, there is an offline support on the mobile app. If you are using the Survey 123 mobile app, it allows you to fill a survey when there is no network. It's going to use your phone's GPS connection and to determine the location. And once your phone regains internet connectivity, it's going to upload the data to ArcGIS Online. So here is where you change the settings to allow anybody to fill the form. So if you want only people in your organization to fill this form, you click on members of my organization. And if you have some groups in your organization that you want to fill it, you specify. But here I want everyone to fill this form. So I'm going to set it to everyone. And then I'll click on save.
Okay.
So after saving it, anybody with the link can now fill this survey. So we can do that for the next 2 minutes. If you have opened the survey before, just refresh the browser page and you'll be able to fill the form. I'm also going to fill the form from my end. I'll add some records.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you have been trying to fill it. And if you have filled it, please kindly signify so we can see. If you can fill it once or twice, that will be appreciable. So if you have tried it once, please, you can try it again. The form is not much, but we need as much data as possible so that we can be able to see what you have just filled, so that you can be able to actually visualize how this really works directly on the dashboard when it's done. Thank you. Okay, before we elapsed the 2 minutes, we have Akinwale asking, how can I get registered on survey 123? Akinwale is asking, how can he get registered on survey 123? Please, Adebayo, can you please take that?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, when I was explaining the licensing you need to have in order to use all these mobile applications, if you have any of the desktop license, automatically you have access to Survey 123. If you have student license or personal license, you have access to Survey 123. It's a complementary application that you don't need to pay any money for once you have every license, desktop or personal license.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mr. Adebayo. Mr. Indrani is asking, after completing this presentation, can we get the recording? Yes, please, the recording will be sent to everyone who actually registered for it. So you will be having that recording as well. Mafuza, thank you so much. You have filled it. Tonvier Zibet, thank you so much for filling it twice. Abubakar, thank you so much for filling the form. Cynthia, thank you. Amefula, thank you. Selsa Brilla, you are asking how do you sign in? You don't need to sign in, just refresh the page, click on it, and it will open, and then you will be able to fill the form. Teslim has a question. Please, does the Survey 123 have APIs for custom integration? Does the Survey 123 have APIs for custom integration? Mr. Clement, can you please take that?
Okay. Yes, the Survey 123 has some ways you can integrate it with some other platforms. Like if you have Microsoft Office 365 subscription, you can actually integrate your survey with Microsoft Flow so that when anybody fills your form, maybe you want to perform a specific action using some details that were filled in the form, you can always integrate it with Microsoft Flow to do some task for you.
All right, thank you so much. I think we have elapsed 2 minutes already, so can we please continue with the little data we have gathered already? Thank you. Mr. Clement, please, you can share your screen now.
Okay, for those who have filled the form, thank you very much. So quickly, I'm going to show you how you locate the data, the form data. On the Survey 123 page, you can click on Overview to see what's actually going on with your form. So currently we have 43 records. We have 5 participants, and the time that the first submission was made as today, and the last submission. So we can easily see some statistics of the participant that surveyed that submitted the form, and there is this Analyze tab that gives you some insight about your data. So we can see the data that was filled. We have 11 weather hazard, road closure 11, traffic jam 18, accident 5, and the percentage. Then those that are resolved, we have 15, depending, we have 30. So this is where you can quickly generate some reports and print it out. And if you go to your content, you will actually see what's going on behind the scenes. In your content, that's where you have every item you create on ArcGIS Online. So here I want to look at the survey form that was just created. When you create a survey, it's going to create a folder, and the name of the folder starts with survey, hyphen the survey name. So I have survey hyphen traffic report here. So if I click this folder, it's going to load this for me. So the traffic report is the form, as you can see here. This one is this traffic report field worker is for keeping track of people who fill the form, while this traffic report posted layer is the actual layer that is holding the data. Like in ArcGIS, you have a shape file or feature class. So this feature layer is like a feature class, a feature data set, and then the data that was submitted on the survey is stored here. So let's take a look at what's inside the posted layer. So once it loads the item details page, You can see the overview, data, visualization, usage, and settings. On the overview page, you will see basically like a summary of what's in the data. This is the layer that is there. It's just one layer. That's the survey layer. And comment, if anybody in your organization wants to make a comment about the layer, you can make it here. And then the menus on this side is for you to open this layer in several applications. So here, before I open it in any application, let's look at the data. So this is the table for all the fields that were recorded. If I included a field to capture pictures in the survey form, these photos and files will have those pictures, but we do not have pictures in our current form. So we have the street name, the issue type, and the status here. So what we are going to do quickly is to open this in a map viewer to create a web map. So these are the stages in creating a dashboard. You start from the hosted layer. Either you create a hosted layer manually and fill in the data, or you have an existing spreadsheet or a CSV, comma separated value format. You can upload it to ArcGIS Online to make an hosted layer. So the first thing you need to make a dashboard is the hosted layer. So once you have a hosted layer, like we have an hosted layer now from our survey, the next thing you do is to create a web map. So this is the web map viewer. Someone fills this form from the Atlantic Ocean, but that will be a factor of the person's smartphone. So here we can now specify how to display these items on the map by setting the symbology. So here we can choose a style. We want to show the issue type and use different symbols to represent them. So here is where you select the drawing style and you modify it accordingly. There are some symbols that you can use. We have shapes here, and the default is a cycle. But I don't want to use this cycle for traffic jam. I want to use a more generic symbol. So here is where you select the shape that you want to use. So I'm going to look for transportation. There are several categories that you can look into here to pick a symbol that you want to use. So I want to use one that looks like a traffic. Okay, I think let's use this one and click on OK. So if I zoom in on the map, I can see the traffic jam, but it's not showing clearly. So I'm going to increase the size of the symbol and change it to 20 px. So I can see the traffic jams here now. They are showing. So the next one is road closure. Still in transportation, this looks like road closure. So I'm going to use this and 20 px as well. Weather hazard. Let me see which one I can use. The essence of using appropriate symbology in your map is to allow those who are not geographers to easily understand what you are trying to pass across with your map. So, okay, let me check disaster. Okay, fine. Let me use this one. Don't look like a thunderstorm. So I'll set the size to 20 and accident. Let me go back to transportation. Okay, I'll just use this one and change it to 20px. So I have this now, but I don't like this web map the way it's displaying. You can also set the visibility range of this data. I can say it should only be visible when you are at state level. So I will not see the data until I zoom in to state level. So I'll click on OK here, done. Then I want to change the base map so that my inbox will display on the map. So I'll use this opposite map. And after doing that, I will save the map. So here, I want to save the map in this folder, this survey folder. So after doing this, there are ways you can now create your dashboard. The first is to click on this share. You can see the link of the dashboard. So I'm going to make this map public. But then I'll click on share as a web map. So here you can select several web map options that you want to use. But here I want to use ArcGIS dashboard. So I can create a dashboard here right now by giving the title and clicking on done. Then another way you can create a dashboard is going back to content. So on content, you can click on create and you click on dashboard. Then you can also click on this app drawer and select dashboard. There is also dashboard beta, but this one is still in development, so it can display some issues. So we're going to use this one, dashboard. So here we are going to see all dashboards that are created in my organization, and I want to create a new dashboard just right here. So I'll give it a title. Traffic report dashboard, and the tag transportation, then the folder where I want it to be saved. I want it to be saved in my survey folder. Yeah. So the dashboard is empty. So the first thing we are going to be adding is a map. Here, if you want to go back to my content or other places in your organization, you can use this menu here. This is the icon for dashboard, and this is the title of the dashboard. And this will get used to add items to this dashboard. This is the save button. This where you set the appearance of the dashboard. And here is where you can share the link to the dashboard or change the thing from light to dark. So here, here is where you can see your sign-in information. So here I'm going to add map. This is the web map I just created. So I'm going to select it. And here, this is the configuration for the map. you turn on and off any item you want to display on the map, or you don't want to display on the map. So here I want to display pop-ups, yeah, different default essence and bookmarks, the legend, layer visibility. That it wants the viewer to be able to turn on and off some layers. The base map feature, you want the user to be able to change the base map they are using. The search, the zoom, and the point zoom scale. The point zoom scale is used to control the extent you want your map to be zoomed whenever the user presses the zoom button. So I wanted to zoom at 1 to 100,000. The general is where you set the text color and the background color of the map. The map actions is used to specify when the extent of the map changes. You want some other information on the dashboard to change as well. This way you set it, because there is no element on the dashboard yet. This place is blank. Then also layer actions. When selection changes for my traffic report, if I want some other layers or other elements to be updated on the dashboard, I can easily do them here. So I will click on done and I have the map on the dashboard. So let's say I want to add an indicator to indicate the total number of issues that were reported. So I'm going to use count, and then I'll leave that as it is. So in the indicator, I can give it a text at the top, at the bottom, or at the middle. So here, let me just put total reported issues. That's 45. And this last updated text is going to show you when last the data was updated. If you don't want to see that, you can turn it off here on the general tab, last updated. And then I click on done. So here I have the widget here. The next thing I want to display is I want to display a list of all the issues that were reported. So I click on list and I'll select the layer. So it's going to show me the symbols that I set in my web map, and then nothing is written at the front yet. So to make sure some names or some description for each issue is displayed there, I can quickly edit it by going to list, and then I can say the issue type. I can display the issue type and the status. Yeah, that's what we have. Then the street name. Yeah. So here is where you can select some fields from the attributes table. These are the fields that were created during the survey. So I want to display the street name, and I also want to display the issue type, and that's it. So weather hazard on Adebayo Street, weather hazard on Buguma Road, traffic jam on Odeniko Street, and so on like that. This data, you can set the maximum features to be displayed. Here we have 45, let me set it to 50. And I want to display only issues that have not been resolved. There is no point showing issues that have been resolved already. So I will add a filter here and say where the status equal pending. So here it will only show me the issues that has pending status. And I have that. So I can drag it around. When you hover on an element, you see the menu at the top left corner. So here you can use it to drag the item to configure. If you want to open the configuration settings again, here you can use to duplicate the element and this to delete the element. So I'm going to drag element and place it right under this one. And I want these total reported issues to appear like the title of the section. So I'll move this up, and this one as well, I want it to appear like this. So the next thing I want to do, I want to show the total number of issues of weather hazards, the total number of traffic jams, the total number of accidents, and so on like that. So to do that, just click on indicator, as well the the traffic report. Then here I want to show the count of the weather hazard. So what I'll be doing here is that I will add another filter. So here in the filter, I can say where the issue type equal weather hazard. So here we have 11 weather hazard, and the indicator I can quickly type weather hazard. And here I have the option to add an icon either to the left or right of the source. So I'm going to choose an icon that looks like weather. This icon here looks like weather.
Hello, Mr. Clement. We are actually running out of time. We have less than 2 minutes. So if you wouldn't mind, please, our listeners, we just want to say we are rounding up. We'll give you just 5 minutes. Please, you should round this session up in 5 minutes. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So okay, this cyclone looks like weather. Okay, I'll say this one. So I can add this, then I don't want to see the last of the letter, so I'm going to do away with it, and I'll click on done. Also, I want to show for road closures. I can duplicate it and change the configuration. This equals road closure. Then here I'll change this to road closure. Just for time, I'm going to turn off the icon, and I will duplicate this as well. I want to show traffic jam. And I think that's okay. So if you want to display for other items in the option, you can do that. And I want to arrange this. I want to stack them on top of each other and adjust it to make the dashboard look nice. So this is what we have here. Now, if you want to display some information, for instance, this issue, if I click on it, I want to show it on the map. So what you need to do is go back to the configuration and go to actions. So when selection changes, you add an action. So I want to zoom into the map. I want to flash the location, and that's it. If I want to display a pop-up as well, I can add show pop-up. So if I click on this one, it's going to zoom to the place and display an icon there. So that's how to create. I think this has created this at the same location. Okay, we have another one here now. So this is how to create a dashboard, and once you're done, you're going to click on save. And just like the survey, this dashboard will not be visible to the public, but if you want to make it public, you can easily change the sharing setting in your content. So thank you very much for participating in this section. I will hand over to Testini to continue from here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Clement. That was wonderful. I really appreciate what you've done today. You've really done justice to how we can actually use the survey 123 to actually bring out something very beautiful, not just beautiful, something that works more or less in real time. So in summary, you find yourself in the field, you can actually pick data, and as you're picking data, you can have a summary dashboard where these informations go in directly. And I want to appreciate everyone who has been here. I want to appreciate everything for listening. And for those that have questions, we might not be able to take all your questions, but we will respond to the ones we can. Bemileke is asking if you can give details on subsequent training. Yes, we can give details on subsequent trainings. You can just send us a mail and that will attend to that. As you can see, what Mr. Clement is still showing on the screen, this is what we have just been able to put up in less than 15 minutes. And so imagine if you have lots of data, you'll be able to actually be well informed. Can you please stop sharing your screen, Mr. Clement? And so finally, we are Sambos Geospatial Nigeria Limited, and these are the services we offer. We are offering S3 software services, Tremble, and Harris Geospatial software. And then we also have professional services, which has to do with system integration, solutions configuration, software development, and project management. We also have an aspect of after-sales services, which has to do with the training services, technical support, follow-up, and renewal. And so we have our Twitter handle, our Facebook, and every other social media handle. So you can actually just go there and see what we have on it. So kindly visit us at www.sambosgeospatial.com, where you can be able to see the present trainings that is coming up very soon. And I believe with that, you'll be able to have access to what you have. Also, very importantly, as you all know, we are migrating from ArcMap to ArcPro. So there's a training coming up. Once you visit our website, you'll be able to see the training schedule on the website. With this, I would like to say thank you very much for attending the webinar. Thank you so much. God bless you. Till we see some other time. Right now, the webinar is over. Thank you very much for attending.